Good evening, good evening, good evening. And welcome to the Jams and Cocktails Live Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Brock. Tonight, very special evening. Very, very excited. Our good friend Rivercat has returned to the lounge.
How you doing? I didn't think there were that many people here. Wow, thank you much.
I know they hide up in the rafters. So he is here to talk about his brand new album that just dropped. I guess it's been a couple months now, but it's new to us. And share what he's been up to since we last hung out. Of course, also joining me here in the lounge tonight, as always, is the real HBIC, Ms. Jordan Taylor.
Hi, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
Jordan Dimples.
Jordan Dimples, absolutely right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live with us tonight or catching the show later on our Roku channel or listening in on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to us wherever you're tuning in. On the show tonight, of course, we're catching up with Rivercat. We'll also have a little group discussion about some recent and maybe not so recent copyright lawsuits in the Geordie files. Also play around and name that tune. I will deliver a dose of midweek motivation for all of you. And, of course, hit you with our shameless plugs. But it wouldn't be the JNC podcast if we didn't kick things off with our shot, nay, cocktail of the week.
This delicious thing.
This delicious thing.
This is a hell of a shot.
Yeah, that's why
Big baby.
I had to...
Hope they make it through the next 10 minutes.
Oh, yes. So tonight's cocktail of the week, you guys, is inspired by a track from Rivercat's new album.
Great.
This is the Mississippi Mud, which if you were tuning in live, you got to hear in the opener. So very simple drink. 1 part vodka, 1 part Camorra coffee liqueur, which is what we use, but you can use any coffee liqueur that you like. And 1 part Irish cream. You shake it in ice and you strain it over fresh ice. And there you go, the Mississippi Mud.
All right.
Cheers, you guys.
Yes.
See you in about 20.
There you go. That tastes,
Delicious.
yeah, that tastes like
That's probably,
Like
that's
candy.
really good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in my coffee tomorrow morning.
What do you do for a living?
I have a desk job, so I'll be
how do
fine.
we sign up for that?
I do Uber.
Well, you do that trick. Where
You don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yours is definitely
But
more
this-
delicate.
This actually tastes like you could just about do anything with this Mississippi Mud. You want to put a shot of bourbon in there
Yeah,
instead of vodka? You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
do whatever.
Come on.
That's a good one.
Let's experiment.
No, don't threaten me with a good time.
Brad wanted to get some Oreo cookies and crumble them up and put them in there to make it look kind of like mud.
Yeah.
Wow,
Have some cookies.
were they not like THC cookies, right?
Oh,
I
could have
mean,
been.
that could have been too.
I just opened up a whole different door.
Yeah, right.
You know what,
Combine all
guys?
the
We're going
worlds.
to end the show early and we're going to go experiment in the bar.
Yeah, we need all the Mississippi muds.
We got a camera out there too, but that's just for the
That's just for us.
yes.
Private collection. Oh, man. Well, you guys, we know by Wednesday y'all thirsty as hell, just like us. So join us each week for our shot or cocktail of the week by heading over to jncpodcast.com and clicking on the Shot of the Week link to see what we're planning. Then get all the stuff you need delivered to your door from our friends at Drizzly.
Drizzly.
Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate
You're
that.
Drizzly, it was just drizzling just a little bit.
It was,
Oh, yeah, we had some drizzly, didn't we?
girl. So, you guys, full disclosure. Just before the show started, it
Poor
was
lounge, poor
monsoon.
Rivercat, poor.
If you're local to the Treasure Coast at all, you saw what just happened here in Port St. Lucie. Total monsoon. So something that we've been working through here in our brand new lounge is a series of roof leaks, and so you might even notice it behind me. I'm kind of doing a good job of covering it up, but there's a nice Homer orange bucket back there collecting water. From the roof leaks. We have several of those around the lounge here, strategically placed.
We did a rain dance.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So Mark was like,
And it helped.
we're going to do an anti-rain dance or a rain dance or chant.
A chance.
And
we
did
didn't do
it.
any dancing, really.
No dancing. But we did it. And then all of a sudden, the clouds parted and here we are. And it's not raining anymore. And I think that's amazing.
Well, like I told you, Keith Richards used to do that. Come out with this like shaker that was like a little voodoo thing and talk to the gods. So,
It worked.
you know.
It worked. Y'all.
Thank you, Keith.
It worked.
Keith.
Yeah. You know what? This is for Keith Richards. Awesome.
And Charlie.
Oh, yes. Charlie at this rate is the one answering those prayers. So thank you,
I
Charlie.
know you as a drummer. That must have been a tough one also. Charlie was
Yeah.
part of our childhood.
For me, when he died, I feel like it was the end of an era. You know, because the Rolling Stones always, to me, were this group, this forever group. You know, so many bands from their time had split over time or passed away way early on. This was a core group of guys that managed to stick together for so long.
Yeah.
You know, nearly 60 years.
That's a long
They've been
time.
performing, you know. And so yeah, that for me, similarly Dusty Hill from ZZ Top, that
Right,
hit hard
Dusty
too.
Hill, exactly.
Yeah. So you
One
know.
of my favorite drummers also, Frank Beard. That guy.
Just amazing in his simplicity.
Yes.
You know, and in the fact that his last name was Beard for the beardiest band of all time.
All time.
Not too shabby. Well, you guys, we're going to dive right into the show tonight. It's time to introduce to you once again our special guest, a man of a million stories and a million great tunes. Over 300, as we learned earlier. You guys, it's Rivercat.
Well, it's a new night to rock. It's a new night to fold. It's a new night to find out if your lover still got soul. It's a new day, a new way for you to feel good. It's a new night for love to get this message understood. It's a new night. It's a new night. It's a new night. Oh, it's a new night.
Really making me look good there, man.
Hey, man, you make yourself look good. Mark, welcome back to the show, man. It's
Thank
great
you,
to have
thank
you
you.
back here. And I feel like it's been a long time coming. And I just have to start off by saying some of the best stories that we heard that night were after the show, off the camera, just huddled around the bar in the house. And
Yeah, well,
yeah, you have
what stays in the van? What happens in the van stays in the van.
100%. I 100% agree. But you are back.
I can let loose with a couple more.
Just a
Good,
couple.
good to know.
Just that Mississippi mud.
we
Yeah,
might
just
be
keep
send,
the mud coming.
might send Jordan out for a drink run here in a little bit. A little BWER. Dude, I can't read.
I get to be the mud tender.
The mud tender.
Only on break.
Okay.
Yes. So you're here. You got a brand new album. We talked about
did.
it on the last show. It was we learned that COVID had obviously put some roadblocks in the way, and that there were some trouble getting it all sorted out. But it is done now. It is out. It is in the world, and it has some great tracks on it, including Mississippi Mud.
Yeah.
Which you actually performed on the show last time, so we might get to hear it again. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Wire and Wood, and now that it's out, tell us about the process and what you're doing with it now.
Well, it all started a little over 3 years ago when I took a trip to Nashville, Memphis, and Mississippi with the legendary Garland Jeffries. And Garland's a great songwriter, of course, in his own right. I mean, he's maybe got 30 or 40 albums out. I don't even know. But he's got a whole different style of writing. Like he'll get an idea and he'll take this little piece of paper write it down, and then have like a baggie that you would normally put a sandwich in,
Right.
and just fill it with words and ideas and bag them up, and everybody's got their own thing. And I got a lot of the ideas from him. I think Garland originally wanted to make like an Al Green kind of record. So I said, if you know, then you need to get some Memphis, man. You know, so I took him to Graceland and Stax, and we went to Al Green's church. And, you know, I didn't really intend to write that much down there, but I ended up, you know, always writing a bunch of stuff and putting them in a baggie.
No, okay. So when you say you put it in a baggie, like he would just take like lines and put them in, and you just,
or an idea, you know, stuff like that.
so he would like write them down on a scrap piece of paper and just put it in there and
Right.
like just pull it out
And
at another time.
I don't know.
That was just his process.
All I know is that he would just start writing songs and use an old school cassette recorder.
Oh wow,
You know, like press and play at the same time, and you know.
amazing.
And Garland's, you know, he's a talented dude. I was very, very lucky to work with him for 10 years. I learned so much, and such a humble guy. Most rock stars are dickheads,
Yeah.
but he wasn't one of them. You know.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. No, we did get to talk at length about Garland, and yeah, just a legend, an Asbury legend for sure.
Well, Wire and Wood started off. The first track, One Lucky Dog, was I had moved a good friend and his girlfriend down to Nashville. And on the way down, we're just like, we're just kicking around. Let's make something up. Let's pretend that, we're famous rock stars and we got a girl in every port. So we would pick a town and kind of write it like that. Well, we're in New Orleans. We got Naughty Nancy. And so that's how One Lucky Dog came about. And speaking of Alex Meixner.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about him
Yeah.
prior to the start of the show.
Who I met down here, an amazing accordion player, horn player. He played the piano on this track, actually.
No
That's how
kidding.
you hear, yeah.
On One Lucky Dog.
Yeah, it was one of the last things I did for it.
And he played piano.
He played piano, and he only used one hand. I said, "Why you only use? How can you?" He goes, "Oh, that left hand just gets in the way sometimes." I'm like, okay, dude.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That sounds about right for Alex.
And so that was the start of the record. Mississippi Mud actually came from a night that Garland and I stayed in Mississippi, by the crossroads.
Mhm.
Where was it? Robert Johnson supposedly sold his soul to the devil
Oh,
in
yeah.
order to learn guitar.
That's right.
And we stayed in this place called the Shack Up Inn. And it was all these old, just shitty old looking shacks with a big old barn. But when you went inside the shack, it was laid out. It had Bluetooth, it had a television, it had a stereo system. So Mississippi Mud kind of came from that because Garland was, his subject matter was always about racial tension and kind of smoothing that out between black and white or whatever.
Right.
So that idea came from me then about Mississippi Mud, about it don't matter if you're black or white. Mississippi Mud's going to set you right.
It's going to set you right, exactly.
And, all the blood is red, by the way, everybody out there, okay? Just
Yeah.
remember that. We're all in this together. This is our world. Well, maybe not if you would have watched the day the earth stood still. But,
Yeah. Interesting film.
yes.
Plausible concept, I would say.
Yeah. So that was that. Mississippi Mud. And I don't know. You want to play a little bit of one of them or?
Well, we got to hear Mississippi Mud. We're gonna get to hear that again.
Okay.
I do want to talk a little bit about a cover song that you have on this record.
All right. There's two, actually.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll talk about that one too.
Okay.
That one's a mystery to me,
All right.
but this one is not so much a mystery to me. So there is a track on this record that you covered from Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy. Now, many people know Warren from his obvious smash hit, Werewolves in London.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
That one, too. That's another big one.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty big song, too. And for many people, it might be considered a Halloween song. Maybe similar to Werewolves in London. I growing up, always looked at Warren.
I just hope it's not true.
That's you never know where the source material came from, but so Excitable Boy is a record or a cover tune that you put on this record,
right?
So tell us a little bit about why you chose that tune to include on Wire and Wood.
Well, it wasn't actually my choice. I had met Warren back in the day down at the Stone Pony when Bruce hit. All of a sudden, everybody and their mother wanted to go there.
Yeah, massive.
I'd be hanging out, in the back bar, and it's Warren Zevon, it's Ian Hunter, Bon Jovi, all these cats that you kind of idolize, but you also learn a little bit about. It was like you dug deeper into their records.
Sure.
And Warren was always kind of a really quiet kind of cat. I mean, I guess if you're gonna write those type of lyrics, man, you got to either smoke some good shit or whatever. But
yeah,
what I was
watch a lot of true crime or something. Maybe nowadays it would be influenced.
Well, how it happened was I had reconnected with an old Asbury guy years ago, Dan Grigsby, who produced my last 3 records. And as we were recording it, he goes, "Hey man, I did a whole album of Warren Zevon stuff. Do you think Garland wants to do was another song I totally forgot, was Carmelita, but it was about heroin. So Garland was anti about that, and he goes, well, I said, what else you got? Let me do one. He goes, well, I got Excitable Boy. I'm like, oh shit, I'll nail it, man. Just give me your basic tracks. I added guitar and a few other things, and through the magic of modern technology, he could send me stuff and I could listen to it and then send it back and forth. Then even have to see his face. Not that I don't love your face, Danny, because I do. And, I pretty much did it in one take because it's been in my head all these years. And then Danny, mixed it and put it up, and now here it is.
It's killer.
Yeah.
It's killer.
Literally.
Jordan, you get a
That's
star.
a good one, right?
You get
Thanks.
a gold star for that. It is literally killer.
Yeah.
So what's the other cover on this record?
It's called Party Town, and it was written by Glenn Frey from the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
On one of his solo records. And I had been doing it for years anyway, because I was just like, oh, this song's just badass dance, straight up. But after he passed a couple of years ago, I just wanted to do a proper tribute to the guy. I really liked it because the album was called No Fun Allowed. Does that resonate anywhere today?
Maybe not. Probably not any longer.
So Party Town, I did with a buddy of mine, played fiddle on it. A great guy, Greg Holt, who's worked with Charlie Daniels and a lot of different people, and my guitar player Lee Boyce, who is down in Delray Beach, and I got to see him tomorrow or Friday. It depends how many Mississippi muds end up in my body. But
we'll cross that bridge, of course, when we get there.
Sure. So
Yeah,
far,
he's double
so good.
fisting. You guys both got 2 drinks.
Yeah, well, you know
Wow.
us guys. We're,
Yeah.
we're old school.
You got to try it all.
You got 2 hands, you might as well use them both.
You got to have 2 drinks. 2 hands, 2 drinks. Yeah.
Hey, these guys are great, by the way. I mean, I really enjoy their company. They've got great
Aw.
spirit here. They make you feel at home. And I'm really happy to be here with you guys.
Oh,
Right back at you. We love
same,
having
dude.
you. Yeah.
When you reached out
Later on at the bar, they punch me in the face. Don't ever say that again.
yeah. Well, I would say that the check's in the mail, but you're right here, so you could just pay me in cash. or I could pay you in
Or
cash.
Venmo.
Yeah.
You got Venmo?
Oh
or-
yeah,
Oh, the Venmo.
we can Venmo him.
No, Mark. It's when you reached out to me, and it's been a while
Brad
now.
was an excitable boy.
Wow, Jordan.
I'm good with that one.
Oh,
I like that song a lot.
It is really
as weird
great.
as it is. Yeah.
When I saw it on the record, I was like, "Oh, Jordan."
They didn't
never
dig
done
up her
this.
bones, but
Yeah.
and make
True.
a cage out of them. Where did that line come from, Warren? Wish he was still alive.
Yeah, I
just
want to read something about the behind the song.
Yeah,
I think
Maybe I don't. Maybe
Maybe you
wanna
don't.
read it.
just behind Warren.
Yeah, just behind Warren. Yeah, he
I'm
seems
sure
like an interesting.
If anybody
cat.
out there
in the interwebs.
in interwebs land, if there's a book that exists about Warren Zevon, throw that link in the chats or comments.
or if you know anything about him.
Yeah, we'd love to know the story.
Well, I just got to call up like Steven Van Zandt or one of them guys. He just hung out with him.
Oh, there we go.
That would be a perfect thing to do as well.
You know what he'll say? What happens in the van stays in the van.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, well, that's perfect, dude. Is there a track that you want to that you want us to play that you can kind of narrate as we go through it? Because there's great tracks on this whole record, and I do love that you have a focus on cocktail songs, and I may get with you at some point to put together a little jams and cocktails soundtrack featuring some Rivercat
Well, then let's
tunes.
play Tennessee Whiskey and Beer.
Tennessee Whiskey. I thought you never asked because I feel like that's what I've been drinking literally all day. Leading up to this part.
Let me introduce. This is Alex Meixner on accordion, and I think we had other stuff in there, but once we heard the accordion, we just pulled it all out. We said, "This is the song. This is what makes the song."
This is the one. All right, you guys. This is Tennessee Whiskey and Beer.
It's a waltz.
Give me Tennessee whiskey and beer. Fix up this heart over here. I drank all the wine. Now I'm feeling fine. I need Tennessee whiskey and beer. Give me Tennessee whiskey and beer. And around to that girl over there.
May I have this dance?
Yes, you may.
I have no say in this whatsoever.
Do the waltz.
It's a two-step.
Two-step.
Left you alone, tied up out in the yard. And if that girl would just throw me a bone, maybe life wouldn't be so hard.
And here's the beautiful hook. We'll get every Polish girl on the floor. From 8 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. If they can't crawl, drag them.
I'm stealing that. 80 to 8 to 80. Blind, crippled, or crazy.
If they can't crawl, drag them.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I feel like a dog, left you alone, tied up out in the yard. And if that girl would just throw me a bone, maybe life wouldn't be so hard. Give me Tennessee whiskey and beer.
And by the way, if you haven't tried Tennessee whiskey and beer together,
I need to hear that love song.
you got to sign up.
Yeah, I feel like you're missing out. I'm literally drinking Tennessee whiskey now, and leading up to this point, I've been drinking Yingling beer. So I'm living this song right now.
He is.
Wow.
I have to use you in my first video.
Impressive.
I drank all the wine.
You're looking for an appropriate drunk. I'm the guy.
The one.
And beer. Oh, yeah. Whiskey.
By the way, this part came to me in a dream.
Oh.
Whiskey.
Or maybe it was just a drunken stupor.
I mean, all of those things are great. That's a great scene, man.
I wrote that. Believe it or not, I had become really good friends with the guy that runs Elvis Radio, Argo, at Graceland, Elvis's house.
Right. I remember you were telling me the story when you brought Garland
Right.
to Nashville to take that trip.
Yeah.
And got him on that radio show.
So I stayed at the hotel next door, and at night it's like I'm not the type of guy to just surf through the TV. I'm like, all right, give me some whiskey and Tennessee whiskey and beer, and the idea came out, but they're like paintings. I go back to them, and then they start to fall together.
Yeah.
There's really no way to explain it. All I can tell you is they're in the air. And,
It is funny, like, as a songwriter myself, like we just kind of, I don't know, inspiration hits when it hits. For you,
Yeah.
I'm impressed because, like, I have a few records, and like I have, a few songs in the backlog. But like I have to apply myself when I want to sit down and write a tune. But like every time I talk to you, you're like, oh man, I had a whole record of tunes just in the backlog, like ready to fire off. And it's so impressive to me. Like there's a few people that we've had on the show as guests that fit that
Yeah.
bill. Another person is Johnny Tett, where he just always has just these.
he's
just a
always
ton
got
of
an
songs.
album in his back pocket.
Right.
Even though he just put one out.
Yeah. Similar to somebody that might be in the room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky that way, and believe me, the craft of songwriting is a lot of hard work,
100%. Yeah.
and it's even harder to get it listened to. I mean, you had people like Little Steven or Steve Van Zandt do "Darling Love," and nobody heard the record. I'm like,
Right.
and they had money behind them. So a guy like me, I'm just trying to get my shit out there any way I can by playing live. I'm waiting. I'm finally after all the whole COVID thing, CDs and some vinyl coming.
Awesome.
And just because for me it's a sense of accomplishment. It's like anybody could look me up online and then it's there, and then it's not. It's like, all right, well, if you got my album, maybe I'll sign it and you're hanging on your damn wall. You know what I mean?
I would.
So
I would. I wire and would.
I never, there's so many levels of success in this business. Some of them, you don't always have to be the superstar or that guy. There's different ways, and I just find my own way through. I just can't quit because it's like a drug to me. I tried quitting, one time, and I was out in Vegas, and I dreamt this song. It was like, oh shit, man, I got to get up and get this down. It's like,
Dude, I 100% agree and understand. I tried to quit music when I finished performing on cruise ships. It was a wonderful experience. It was a great time. Probably the biggest adventure of my life thus far. Certainly forming the person that I became.
Besides meeting
And you
Jordan.
got- and-
Besides meeting you.
and you got good. 'Cause you did it 7 nights a week, probably twice
Yes.
a day.
Absolutely.
And you met her?
And I met her.
Oh my God!
I know.
Winner.
There was the brass ring on the merry-go-round.
That's it. I struck gold for
Right.
sure.
Did you meet her in the beginning?
I met her after I quit.
Oh,
So it took me
because
quitting.
I would have figured she ain't getting out of my cabin.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, hey, yeah, I'll gig all night, but I know what I got in my cabin. I ain't gonna chase nothing.
I just sit in the cocktail lounge every night.
I did something similar. I did Club Med.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that place
for-
is awesome.
For a few years.
Yeah.
And I was the DJ. I had the
Yeah.
best job in the world.
Yeah, that's
I
killer.
mean, I actually had to fight chicks off in the DJ booth. I actually asked the guy that ran. I said, I got to lock the door. I can't. I can't. They're bringing me drugs. They're leaving tomorrow. They're bringing me their drugs.
Can't fly with it, so we got to leave it somewhere.
Hey, the DJ. Hey. But, go to the beach all day and, DJ. I mean, back then, when I say DJ all night, I'm talking 6, 7 in the morning.
Right.
And
It
I
goes
started
literally all
I
night.
started at 9. So there was no, wasn't fooling around, and there were
You may have needed the drugs. Some of them to
Well,
be
that-
up
how
that
do you-
long.
what unless it was a Quaalude.
It could have been.
No.
I mean, you never know.
You only know if you try it.
Well, I only used the Quaaludes to go to sleep after the
Oh.
shift,
Oh,
then hit the beach.
right.
Oh, man. But yeah, like I quit music for 2 years. And it swore I would never play again. And then I worked 2 years in a restaurant and was like, fuck this.
Shit,
Terrible.
I'm right with you.
Yeah, I was like, so let me figure out
Yeah,
what I
let me
need to
take
do.
a roofing job instead. I'm like, fuck this.
Sounds
See?
horrid.
I'd rather tune that guitar all day.
all day, and that's pretty much what I do now, all day.
Well, you figured out something I haven't. I don't know how you. If you guys haven't seen this guy, he plays drums, and he's got his guitar tuned. The top 3 are bass.
Well, so I cheat a little bit. I use an octave pedal,
Ooh, okay.
so the guitar is standard tuning, but I do run all my bass lines with my thumb, and which have resulted in some pretty gnarly calluses. I'm going to show to the camera. So if you guys are listening, you're only getting half the show.
Oh,
FBI fingerprint that.
yeah. Wow. It's like a wart.
It does kind of look like a word, but yeah.
Big
So
wart.
I run all my bass lines, and
One of the many moons
yeah.
of being in the music business.
Yeah,
here.
so you get it. But yeah, man. Well, thank you. By the way, it's
Yeah.
very, very sweet.
When I first started drumming, I used to have to tape. I mean, I literally tape my fingers and put new skin on. I would like bang that there, and then I
yeah.
would start
Worst.
bleeding, and it would be like it would not stop. Oh, you only got 30 more songs to go.
yeah. Oh God, yeah. Full set of tunes, or full evening of tunes. Not even a full set, just a full evening of tunes.
Evening,
Oh my God.
4 sets, baby. Back in those days.
Well, yeah, man. So very excited that the record's out. Like I said, we're gonna hear a couple tunes from that. But what have you been up to for the last? I guess when was the last time you were here? It had to have been August of last year, maybe. I could be totally way off on that. Jordan, do a little legwork.
Let's
for-
go.
for
Let's
old
Google
boy.
it, Jordan.
Google
we got
the last
She
time
has
Marcus
one,
here.
one Mississippi mud, man. The
got
girl lost vision.
Yeah,
vision
right.
of her
I
own
don't even
job.
know what's happening
I know.
anymore here.
I know.
Well,
I'm off the clock.
All the Tennessee whiskey and beer for me. It's that's been my problem.
from what I can remember, I've been here almost 3 years. I finally shut down my place up north, got my wife here, and just kind of like settling in. I got my studio set up in my new place, and I've been I just started going old school on this Tascam I got, just like like McCartney did his first record, just plug it in direct,
Right. Right.
no real effects, nothing, and then just review them and go back and just keep, just making it better, and kind of locks me up there in that room, gets me out of her hair for a while.
Fair
And,
enough.
My cat hangs with me though, Luna. She's right there. I'm like, all right, untangle that wire that I just untangled last night. You know, so I've been doing that, and by chance, I had gone up to Jersey, Asbury Park, for my niece's wedding, and I reconnected with an old buddy of mine from Asbury who I did my very first album with in '84 and my first couple singles. And we got to talking, and we were like, well, he was more like, we should have, we could have been contenders. We could have done this. We could have done that. I'm like, dude,
I
man.
love the total voice change for that. You got it down pat, clearly.
And I tried to, because he was always one of those guys that was just an amazing musician, but had no business sense whatsoever. So I tried to explain to him, man, without the right management and the right connections, I don't care how good you are, and that goes out for all you folks now.
100%.
That without the right management, you're not going to get anywhere. You look at Elvis, the Colonel, the Beatles, the Stones. The only exception I think in the whole industry was Prince, and that's very rare because he had the talent to back it up.
Yeah, and talent more so.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he was just really good. Prince was an enigma, in the full sense of that term. And
you can still go back to some of that early stuff, and he'd probably even tell you now if he was still here, yeah, I could have done that better. But he was experimenting. He was creating a whole new vibe that pretty much everybody followed in the 80s.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody. So in my mind, I'm just like, like if I didn't create or, couldn't create, I don't know what else I would do, man. I really don't. I could keep driving limos, but I create in the limo.
There you go. Well, just like you said, man, you try to give it up, and then you were hanging in Vegas, and a song came to you. I feel like once it's like if you're a conduit for creativity, there's things that we don't understand in the cosmos, and some of us are antennas for certain things.
And I think that's what finally came to me was the fact that, Mark, you're in this now. You're not quitting. Even if you change one person's life, and that one person ends up become like Putin.
Yeah.
And then he could fuck up the whole world. No, I'm an optimist, all right? I don't want to get into that. But if I could, I could say that, hearing Heartbreak Hotel or hearing I Want to Hold Your Hand totally changed my life as a person, made me a better person, gave me optimism, love songs, just a reason to be a better person.
Right.
Unless you were doing the wrong drugs like Charlie Manson and you listen to Helter Skelter and you're like, oh yeah, that's not a roller coaster. It's like, some people just got to get with it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's crazy, man, because music is an interesting barometer, I suppose. Because you and I can listen to a song and feel completely different about it than maybe even the artist intended.
Exactly.
So here we are.
That's the beauty of it.
It is the beauty of it, but then you have, like you said, somebody like Charles Manson, Helter Skelter.
Well, there's not too many of them. I mean, you got the occasional case of the guy that said whoever it was, they listened to the record backwards and that made him kill himself. I'm like, well, he must have been pretty stoned to be listening to that record backwards in the first freaking place. So it's like,
or just not know how to work a record machine at all.
So to me, there is, it's a gift. I don't really like a whole lot of stuff that's out now because I think it's become a corporate thing, and they just know how to it's like, oh, we can make it. It's like a nursery rhyme, you
Yeah.
know, and everybody will just because it's got those particular notes or chords, it's gonna
Palatable for
it's
everyone.
gonna fall
yeah.
in. There's no improvisation. There's no thinking out of the box, and it's still out there, but you really have to look for it because you don't have like the radio that we had as kids.
Right.
You're not going to the record store and looking at the album cover and saying, "Oh shit, that album cover looks really cool, man. Let me try it out."
Right.
You know.
It's totally different. It's totally different now, the way that people bring you into their art. Nowadays it's social media. So you get to, you hear their single on radio and you go, oh man, that song's killer. And then you go and, you don't go out and immediately look for their record. You go to their social media and see what their Instagram looks like. And you go and you see how many followers they have on Facebook and
then you got to
things like
download.
that.
Then you got to download it. Not even download now. It's stream it.
Stream it. Yeah.
Which is like the sound quality compared to the stereo systems we had.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Put on Quadrophenia by the Who in your old school sound system and see if you come out the room the same. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Or Dark Side of the Moon, or the White Album, anything. Just like now it's like,
You don't want to listen to it through your little beach speaker, your Bluetooth beach speaker. You don't want to listen to this through that.
I will if I have the beach because I can't drag that whole stereo system down.
I get that 100%. But yeah, no, the way that people listen
I had
to
the
music,
transistor back in the day, dude.
it's so funny. Whenever I perform Brown Eyed Girl live, and I do it a lot because I'm predominantly a cover artist when I perform out, and that's a big hit. But
let me guess. Do you do Mustang Sally right after?
Come on, man. You know how this montage works.
Of course I do. But they don't like me down here. I won't learn Brown Eyed Girl.
So I always say when it comes to the transistor radio part, I always stop and go, what is a transistor radio? I don't know. And it gets a fun reaction.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I'm so sorry.
Well, for me, the transistor radio was just a little box.
Right.
When the White Album came out, they said 30 Beatles songs. So I would just walk around all day, wait for one to come on, write it down. I remember walking 2 miles to the record store just to look at the album cover to find out that there wasn't one.
Right. It was blank.
It was all white. I was like, fuck you guys, man.
I will say, though, the transistor radio, you guys, for those of you younger, David, a transistor radio was the first pint-sized portable receiver for radio.
Getting out of the house.
Yeah, you could take it with you with batteries and
Right.
go and listen to music anywhere. This was
And
beyond
every Yankee game all summer long.
that also.
I mean, no matter where you were.
But and now obviously that technology. Don't get me twisted. We were talking a little bit about Spotify before the show went live, and not just Spotify, but streaming as a whole. As somebody who's a constant optimist, I think that streaming is an opportunity to get more music into more hands. And, just to your point, listening to radio, regular traditional radio today, broadcast radio, you are hit with just these cookie cutter megatunes. Boom, 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 boom. They're scientifically put together to make you love them. But with streaming, you have the opportunity to dig a little bit, like mining for gold, and find music put on by independent artists like you, like me, like so many other independent artists that are releasing music on these platforms that's available for everyone. It's a very, very cool frontier for independent musicians right now.
The guys like us who, unlike Neil Young, who already made his millions in America and is in protest of this guy Rogan, who I don't even really know that much about, and I don't really give a shit. because as a independent artist, if I get somebody in my Uber car and they're, hey, can I look you up? I say, yeah, just Spotify Rivercat. I mean,
Yep.
that's it. I know I'm going to make 3 cents, but to me, it wasn't always about the money. It's about
Well.
getting the message through. Turn you on to something.
100%. And like I feel like it's kind of flipped a little bit these days with the music. It's not so much, or it doesn't have to be so much about selling the music as it does about selling the message or monetizing your music in a different way. Like it's not about buying records anymore. It's about buying into an idea,
Right.
and getting people to basically crowdsource you. There's so many artists that are massive because of crowdsourcing, that give their music away,
Yeah.
but they have fans that are so into what they do. And this is not something that existed in the 90s and prior, where literally you could set up a Patreon, for instance, and your fans can directly go and just subscribe to you as an artist, right? They could
Prince did that first.
Did he really?
He did.
Okay. Well, do you know a lot about that?
I do.
Tell me about it. Tell me, because that's fascinating to
Well,
me.
when Prince was splitting with Warner Brothers, he designed his own website, and he had all this music, and you could only get it if you became a member. So you would sign up as a member. Say it was $40, for the year, and then you can download this album, that album, and all this cool shit he had going. He basically built his own audience through the internet, and changed his name at the same time
Right. To the artist formerly known
as whatever
as Prince.
I normally wear it. But yeah. But the other side of the coin is for me with the Spotify stuff and all that. I think is that I don't know how to put it. Like this guy Rogan gets $100 million to do a podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not that Neil Young never made any money, or I won't. The streaming, when I put stuff on a Facebook page and I send my song out, they're just going to listen to it. They're not spending the 99 cents to go fucking buy it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We had to walk to a record store to get it.
Right.
So it gives
And-
them
and-
gives
and
them
not-
that convenience, but it's also an inconvenience in a way.
Had to walk to a record store to buy it. But the flip side to that is we did it, and we wanted to walk to a record store to
I
go
couldn't
buy
wait.
it.
I'd run to the record store.
Yeah. So like, just the culture has changed a little bit, and I'm in defense of it in a way that I think it's a massive tool, because never in history has independent artists had the ability to put their music in front of faces. It just takes more work now, because you don't get a record deal like you used to. It's not as important.
It's a catch-22 in a way.
Yeah.
Because with the record industry being so different, there's no A&R anymore, which means artist and repertoire for you kids out there that don't know.
Write that down.
They would actually take an artist like Bruce Springsteen, give him a 3-album deal, and they'd feed him money so he could pay his rent and he could sit home and write his songs and do his tour and everything. Now, if you don't come through with that one-hit record, guess where you are? You're back home,
Yeah, living in your parents' basement.
exactly, trying to come up with that next song. But and then you have that whole end of American Idol and all that. They're like, oh, the winner gets $5 million. So I'm like, well, if you don't think you have to pay that back, then you got another thing coming.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
well, a perfect example of that obviously is Kelly Clarkson, and she was the very first winner of American Idol, and she, went on to do part of whatever her contract was, but had a huge impasse with those people, and what happened was she went her own way, and it did not hit, and she then came back and reconciled, and then put out another massive hit record.
because they can crush you if you fight with them. They tried to do it to Prince. that they can crush you, and the industry is so small now that nobody will hear you if they don't want you to.
Yeah, no, it's wild, and I could talk about this forever, and maybe we'll have a whole conversation on this.
But we have to get back to my record now.
But yes, Wire and Wood available on Spotify,
iTunes, Amazon, all that other
stuff. And you said that there are CDs and vinyls, in the process.
Yeah, they're done and they're on their way. Finally, when I go to a show, if I do a show, I'm like, I got a CD. If you're gonna put a tip in a jar, I'll trade you off. Here's a CD.
Right.
If you put 100 in the jar, I'm not giving you 10 CDs though.
No. You gave one CD and a fist bump.
I'll buy you a drink.
Buy you a drink. Exactly.
There you go.
So
Well,
I
awesome.
just I always liked having something physical, even for myself when I get older. I don't have any kids, but I might have some goldfish or something. And just like
Gotta have something to leave to them.
I did this because by then, who knows what's going to exist on the on the internet,
on the interwebs.
cloud world.
Yes, the cloud world. I love it.
True.
Do you have any dates on the books for around town here?
I just played Blue Point Grill on this past Friday.
Oh, nice. Cool spot.
And before that, the last one I did was New Year's. Things have been kind of slow in that area. I'm getting wrapped up into doing this writing right now. I'll go home tonight and I'll pick up some Mississippi Mud.
Listen,
Stay up
if
till
you
3.
come up with some crazy leaky roof song, just
already did.
Just put a little
Oh, yeah,
asterisk.
you already did.
Put a little asterisk for old Brad up there in Jordan.
Yep.
I call it the Rain Parade.
Rain Parade. Oh my God, I'll die if it comes out on your next record. I swear. It's so cool, man. And now having met you and spent time listening to stories and getting to know you, man, you are a sponge of spirit.
Thank you,
Might
man.
even be the first time I've ever said that in my life.
Yeah.
But you really are, and you're inspiring
Can
in
you
a way.
turn me into a cartoon character?
It's possible.
Spirit sponge.
The spirit sponge. You never know. But really, man, and the fact that music flows through you in a way that you can present it consistently and constantly.
I don't really know how it happens. I don't have I still have my old cassette player, but now I get ideas. I put them in my phone, then I come back to them. I've gotten really good at it actually, and just through trial and error. I mean, I listened to some of my old shit. I'm like, what were you thinking, or what were you smoking? But
I do the same thing.
It's like any artist or anybody does anything. It's all trial and error, and you just keep coming back and you get better. Some people might think, oh, well, this album ain't as good as that one you did 3 albums ago. I'm like, well, I'm just trying something different. I really, I don't care what you think, because at this point, I'm 64. I'm doing it for me.
It's my therapy.
You know what I mean? So without that, I'm just down at the bar, having Mississippi Muds trying to pick up the co-host.
Yeah. There you go.
I love them both, by the way. I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
we all know that I'm the co-host and that Jordan
In
is the
that
actual
scenario.
host.
Yeah.
but doesn't Jordan have something coming up that she's gonna
Oh, yeah. Discuss.
What are you doing?
Yes, we do. But before we do that, we're actually going to take a quick break.
Oh.
And we'll jump into the Geordie Files right after this. We're going to play you a little video that we had last time we were together on the show. Is actually Mississippi Mud, which I feel like somehow majestically this all plays together.
Did I have my clothes on?
Don't look at the
which
screen.
video is it?
Just look at my face in the fingering.
And the fingering, you guys.
Oh, God.
Pay attention to the fingering.
These guys.
All right,
You know
guys.
what's great about this kind of stuff? I can say the word fuck.
That is until, of course, we get on any kind of radio, which may be AM radio in the near.
And then you'll have to change it to
future.
fudge.
Fudge. Or I just have to like get good at being like boop or making the dump.
I can't use duck.
You can
Oh
use
yeah,
duck.
duck. I hate the phone every time. Every time it's like I don't want to say ducking.
Yeah. iPhone
Who says ducking?
hates filthy people. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, does not like the F word.
Well, I don't mean like I'm like the duck in the pond,
Yeah.
Right.
not like ducking the question.
That's better. Or like ducking.
What the duck?
I
Yeah.
can't with you guys.
What the duck?
What the duck? What did the duck
Don't
say?
ask me that ducking question.
We're gonna take.
You get it.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump into the Geordie Files and talk a little bit about these crazy lawsuits, or are they crazy? We'll get our opinions coming up. But this is Mississippi Mud by Rivercat.
Thank you.
It was actually written in Mississippi. Way down deep in the Mississippi mud. I give her my life, I give her my blood. I found the Lord in the Mississippi mud. Up to my neck, and shit no good. Mississippi mud ain't fooling around. Take your ass and drag it down in that Mississippi mud. I committed a crime and I got caught. Now the Mississippi mud's gonna be my boss. Mississippi mud's gonna make you a man. Just take it around if you think you can. Mississippi mud ain't fooling around. Take your ass and drag it down in that Mississippi mud. Mississippi mud ain't fooling around. Take your ass and drag it down in that Mississippi mud. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, black or white, only time will tell. When the Mississippi mud drag you down to hell. All the blood is red, yeah, that's no lie. But the Mississippi mud don't take no sides. The Mississippi mud ain't fooling around. Take your ass and drag you down in that Mississippi mud. Mississippi mud ain't fooling around. They're gonna take you and drag you down in that Mississippi mud. Oh, Mississippi mud. Yeah. Mississippi mud. And that Mississippi mud.
That was Mississippi Mud by Rivercat.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, again, thank you so much for tuning in live with us.
Oh,
It is
I have an update really quick.
an update.
Scott O'Buck is tuning in on YouTube, and he said that when Rivercat was on, it was August 12th, 2021.
Ah, yes.
Wait.
I was right?
Is that Scott O'Buck from
And he said Mark is a hoot.
I'm a hoot?
Mhm.
I'll be looking
A whole
for some
hoot.
hoot
Hooty
later.
hoot.
What are you doing?
Hooty hoo.
You're from Yonkers, right, Scott?
Is this Yonkers,
Well,
Scott?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
find
keep you
out.
posted.
Yeah, so I was
If
right.
it is,
so
I,
August.
I don't owe you money, do I?
we'll find
Fingers
out.
crossed.
We'll find out also. I mean, we could litigate like Judge Judy here. You guys, it is time now.
Brad will pay your debt for you. Don't worry.
Really?
Yeah, just tell me who to make the personal
Post-dated
checkout to.
checkout too.
Oh, just Venmo that 200 grand.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There you go.
It's only 200
I
grand.
could do that. No
Yeah.
problem.
It's in the savings
How
account.
many 100-grand chocolate bars is that?
She's sucking on one now.
Yeah, right. I'm having my 100 grand now.
It's time now for the 80-time Pulitzer Prize-winning news program whose journalism is as honest as its anchors. This is the Geordie Files.
Trying to be like Rangy.
Or is he trying to be like me? That's right. It's the Geordie Files.
Hi.
Hello, Jordan.
Hi.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi.
Hey there.
How you doing? Well,
World.
I'm going to be honest. Due to my demanding and, whatever, insert words here, schedule, I did not get to fully be briefed on all of these articles, so I'm going to need your help today,
I can.
Brad and Rivercat.
we can do that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You actually trust us?
I mean, as far as I can throw you.
You're really weighing in now.
I know.
What choice does she have?
Desperation here.
Let's go.
Okay. So I at least have the birthday part. So today we are celebrating television host Steve Wilkos is turning 57. Rapper Chingy is 41. Actress Brittany Snow, best known for her role in the Pitch Perfect films, is turning 35 today. And our baby birthday is rapper and actor Bow Wow. He's 34.
I know he's not so little Bow Wow anymore, is he?
Yeah, he's big
not.
Bow
He's
Wow.
not. Bark, 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 bark.
He's not Bow Wow Wow Yippee Yo Yippee
Yippee-yi-yay.
Yay. Yeah.
Yeah, not that.
Not today.
Well, happy birthday,
So
you guys.
happy birthday, all of
Yeah,
you,
man.
you old fossils.
Send us $1 each.
Yes. We want $5 whole dollars
$5
Venmo.
each. Yeah.
in the Beanmo.
Brad, can you put up our accounts?
Yeah.
The barcodes?
I'll do it in post.
Okay.
I'll do it in post.
Actually, if you could send a small grant of like 50,000, help get this, we could launch this really for real. We can have you as a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
I do want to say that Scott O'Buck said, yes, we'll talk about it later. I'm assuming in terms of owing him money. Do the Beanmo.
The Venmo. So our first article is about Ed Sheeran. He takes the stand in ongoing Shape of You copyright case. So I guess it says Ed Sheeran defended himself in a London's High Court on Tuesday in an attempt to prove he didn't plagiarize his 2017 smash hit Shape of You. He is being sued by singer Sammy
Go ahead.
There you go.
Chorkey?
Chokri.
Chokri? Yeah.
Where's he from?
Who
Who knows, really?
yeah, I don't know.
This is the
Who
point that we're getting to.
I know.
Oh, okay. The point is, Sammy claims Ed sampled his 2015 song "Oh Why" in his "OI hook?"
Okay, question number 1.
Question mark.
Why didn't you not copyright it in the first place?
The thing is, what he's claiming is that it might have been copywritten. So he's claiming that Ed took the song.
Did he
Without permission.
Did he know about the song? Or is it like a sub-minded plagiarism,
Right.
which happens all the time?
So you have
There's only 9
instances-
notes. I mean, they tried to do that to George Harrison. He wrote "My Sweet Lord." They said, "Oh, you're stealing." He's so fine. He's like, really? I only made like $200 million with the Beatles.
Yeah.
by this time, though. I need to pleasurize
That's
the chiffon.
so that's
Who's
kind of
Phil Spector, by the way.
yes. And that's kind of what I want to touch on a little bit here in the Geordie Files, if I may hijack it just a little
please.
bit. Is that, when is enough enough? When do these lawsuits become frivolous? Because we just talked about this a couple weeks ago with Dua Lipa, and Article Sound System, which is a local reggae band here in Florida, out of Boca Raton. And don't get it twisted. And I'm going to get your opinion on this,
Cool.
Mark.
All
I think that they are very similar. So it is. If I were the sole judge on this, I would say, yeah, you clearly listened to this and took elements from it and made it the same. I don't obviously have sound bits for all of these things, but yeah, to say that this is a case going way back, in terms of Ed Sheeran and this guy Shokri. But the BBC reports that the Grammy winner attempted to show how common the two-note melody is by singing No Diggity by Blackstreet and Feeling Good by Nina Simone during his cross-examination. He said if you put them all in the same key, they'll sound the same. And when he was pressed if the song was similar to Shokri's, Ed remarked, fundamentally, yes, they are based around the same pentatonic scale.
Right.
And they both have vowels in them. This case is built around the hook "Oh-I, oh-I" in these two songs.
So in that case, I would say what you do the right thing. The Stones went through this a little while ago with a song they had where Katie Lang sued them because the melody was very similar, and it's the Stones. It's Mick and Keith. You know how they solved the problem? Well, we didn't realize it. Here's half.
Right.
Now,
Now,
you know what I mean?
to your point, to that very point, to bring it into immediate, this is happening today in the music industry circumstances, Olivia Rodrigo, she's a massive pop star right now, and her debut album, Sour, is just running the radio waves. She's won Grammy after Grammy. She has given up royalties to two tunes, one of which was to Taylor Swift. Now these people didn't sue her, but came out, like their reps came out saying, "Oh, this is eerily similar," and she went out of her way to credit them. And the other was for Good For You, Paramore, a band from the early 2000s, and giving Hayley Williams credits on these.
Wow.
So it stayed out of court. But to your point, what Mick and Keith would do is say, okay, yeah, you're in. Here we go. And we're done.
Well, I think what the difference is, and this is my honest opinion, if you're writing a folk song on a guitar and it sounds like friggin' Bob Dylan,
right?
Blowing in the wind, then it's blowing in the wind. Everything that's being done now is being it's automated, so a lot of it sounds the same. A lot of these pop stars can't write songs, let alone perform them. So they're searching for ways to keep their careers alive, and they're, some of it could be a sublime kind of plagiarism, or some of it could be outright. I mean,
it makes you wonder, when it's left up, I think, to a judge, say, and to be fair, like they bring in specialists, they bring in people, that listen to the song sonically.
All you need is a judge to say, yeah, well, I grew up to that original song.
Yeah.
He's going to say, oh, I'll go in and it's a touchy thing.
Yeah, funny.
And another thing you don't do when you release your music, when they say, "Oh yeah, it's all included in the package, the copyright and all that stuff." No, get your copyright form. I always do an SR, which is a compilation of the album.
Right.
Or if the song gets picked up, then you do a proper copyright and you notate it and you do it individually.
Sure, of course.
Otherwise, I mean,
We had a funny comment. Not a funny comment. It's actually very interesting. But so our friend Danny says, who wins between the ABC song and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which are obviously rips off of each other. And to your point, like who owns those? Just like Happy Birthday was actually public domain, and then somebody bought the rights to it.
yeah, when it goes public domain, it's like there's not a whole lot you could do. I mean, I think I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess we'll clearly this Ed Sheeran case. This is just one. This
And it's ongoing.
I feel like what happened. This happened way back in. Well, I say way back in 2015, but 2015, way back. When the family or the estate of Marvin Gaye came after Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams for Blurred Lines, claiming that the song I have the Give It Up or Got to Give It Up from 1977, and I listened to them back to back and I thought it was very similar. I don't know if it was a full-on rip.
Well, I can explain to you why. Because the song by Marvin is that song is just a funk vamp. There's not a whole lot of melody going on.
Right, it's rhythm.
The rest of it's just, dancing. I mean, so how many guys have not come up with a melody line? So,
Right.
So you can give Robin Thicke, right, because he loves Marvin Gaye, probably, subconscious plagiarism payment or some.
Well, I think that was the Achilles heel of their case because they lost that case. The Gaye estate actually won that case, but it was because they both came out and said yes, like we were influenced by Marvin Gaye. We love Marvin Gaye. We love his music.
Did we rip it off totally?
But were we out there going, we're going to make $1 million because we're going to take this song and make it our own? But like we were talking a little bit off air about this topic, when a judge makes a judgment on something like that, it becomes case law. And now lawyers everywhere in the country can now take that case law and make their case with it. So it really becomes this very funneled thing. So, which brings us to our latest case with Dua Lipa and Article Sound System, and I have audio for that. And those of you that are followers of the show, you heard this a couple weeks ago, but Mark is not. So we want to give him an opportunity to listen to that.
Okay, cool. Let me check it out.
Pull it up here. All right, so this is the pop song that's on the radio right now.
This is like a big hit.
This is a huge hit. It's called "Levitating" by Dua Lipa, and I'm gonna play it for you right now.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating.
All right, here it is one more time.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating.
This is the song that is in question. Here it is one more time.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating.
Okay. My opinion is that it's such a traditional kind of vibe.
Right.
It is. I mean, if you really dig, you could probably find 100 songs that are doing that. But because they picked those two, yeah, it's definitely similar.
So do you think that in the litigation that it should be part of that to then go out and
so
find
you're showing 4 measures.
find every song
No.
that is similar and bring all of those together and say, now are all of these songs in question?
Then it's a Pandora's box. It's open forever.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like that's how you get a case dismissed is by bringing in other examples.
If you're
of
only
songs.
bringing in 4 measures of something, because what's the rest of the song sound like?
Right, and that's
You know
fair.
what I mean?
I can't play it on here because then I get my own
Then you'll
copyright
get sued.
dings. but so I just picked those parts because to me that's what was most familiar.
Yeah.
Those are the hooks of each tune, and
Well-
and to me they sound similar, but I don't know if it's a full on rip.
Well, I can't see. I don't know about suing for a hook. Are you suing for the melody? If you're suing for the melody, I mean, but that's a dance groove thing. If it's fucking Michelle Maybell, and you're doing that, then you're in deep shit.
Right.
Not what you're doing here is you're programming. You're coming up with something, and your computer's telling you, this goes to go with that, and you know.
One of the most notorious offenders of this particular, in my opinion, my humble podcast host opinion, is when Vanilla Ice took the hook from Under
Bowie.
Pressure by Queen and literally just took the sample and ran it. And in his during his defense during that court date, he said, "Oh no, Under Pressure is dun 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 dun," right? And then I might be botching it a little bit, but he added a note to his, and he was like, "Oh, that's what makes it different." It's
that's
no.
when they kind of changed that law a little bit, because I can remember I was going to meet a producer once, and when I walked in the studio, there was a rap group, and in the background I heard, boom, do 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 do, boom, do 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 do, ripping off Smokey Robinson.
Sure.
So I'm like, they're gonna have to drop the 2 notes, or they're getting sued by Smokey, which you don't want to do.
Right. But the thing is, like, what's money now? Because if they're gonna go and make $50 million off of this track, what is it to cut in these artists? A point or a case I want to bring in was when Sam Smith, a new artist or relatively new, was sued by Tom Petty for his song. Oh, geez, what was it? I have it here. Not Dancing with a Stranger. It was a different one.
Yeah, he's getting sued a lot, huh?
He got sued a lot. But there was one. It was a Sam Smith song. He was sued by Tom Petty, claiming that it resembled "I Won't Back Down."
Wow.
And Tom Petty, after the case, like Sam, they obviously settled, as many of these cases do, settle out of court. You get your cut of songwriting
You have
royalties. He came out and said, "I didn't think that the song was a rip off of mine. It was just similar enough that it needed to be addressed."
Do me a favor, listen to the chords to "I Don't Back Down." It's a 3-chord rock and roll song.
"Stay With Me" was the song.
I was just looking it up.
It's a 3-chord rock and roll song. Very simple melody line. I mean, it doesn't seem like, unless you're gonna really sit down and say, well, this song was a hit. I'm gonna rewrite a few things and make it a fucking hit, because it's "I Won't Back Down."
Right.
It's just like.
So a point I want to open up to you guys, and you out there, Danny. I'm looking at the screen, but I'm looking at you, Danny. Thank you for chiming in. You have great points. She agreed that the tempo is different than the Dua Lipa song. She said that all '90s rap was based on sampling, and that's true. And she said she even saw the video of Vanilla Ice trying to differentiate between his song and the Queen song. Thank you so much for tuning in and chiming in. So this is a question I posed to you guys here in the lounge and to you out there listening. Now I've lost my train of thought. Choo choo. No. So
That was copyrighted.
right.
Choo-choo.
Sue me.
Can't say that.
Um.
Can't sing that.
That's coming soon.
So when what is the the cutoff point? Like when do you say
Look,
that it's not total?
Well, clap for yourself, huh?
Thank you very much.
I think the cutoff line are two things. If it's dance music and you're looping shit anyway, and you just, everybody's ripped off Nile Rodgers. I mean, do you see him going around saying, "Oh yeah, well you took Good Times, you took Let's Dance, you took all my ideas. I'm the greatest producer in the world, but." I'm doing all right with my publishing. I don't want to go suing people.
So maybe my point is,
unless it's blatant,
is I understand personally that if you take a clip of Mississippi Mud and you loop it, or you use the guitar lick in a song, that you should be compensated for that.
If I
And it's evident and it's obvious. But in things like this, where you have a similar rhythm, like you said, we only have a finite amount of notes that are possible, possibly
Right.
played together.
So Mississippi Mud is 2 chords, E to A. So you can't protect that. But if it's my guitar lick that I, created, or you're going to steal that harmonica lick that I created, yeah, then we're talking.
So what if you isolated yourself for 50 years? All right, hypothetically. and you
Then I'm coming back.
And you sat in a studio and you came up with this lick all by yourself. You go, "Oh man, that sounds great." And you come out of isolation after all that time, and some other nitwit
Made a huge hit out of it.
had done it before you out in the
Well,
world,
I am
and
su-
they go, "Oh my God, you never heard the lick before in your life."
I am sure that the lick on Mississippi Mud,
12 notes. Thank you,
whether
Danny.
it's harmonica or guitar, has been done somewhere before.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
going to say.
just don't
I kinda
know.
just feel that
Right.
everything's been
I just
done.
don't know where it's from.
Yeah.
Is it from a black guy on a porch in Mississippi, on a railroad track, New Orleans? I mean, everything's been done.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you approach it, make it your own. If people start suing everybody for every little freaking thing, it's going to be a never-ending thing unless it's really, really obvious.
So an article that stuck out to me from Rolling Stone magazine. The headline is "The boom in copyright lawsuits is rattling the music industry to the point where some artists and songwriters are spending tens of thousands of dollars on insurance policies for their music." Isn't this crazy?
Okay, like you didn't make enough money, So Bruce just sells his catalog for $500 million. So, and some kid by accident does Glory Days or does something similar to it. You're going to sue him? I mean,
What are you gonna do? Katy Perry was not unaffected by this. She's another major pop star. Somebody sued her for her hit "Dark Horse" by a little-known song by Christian rapper Flame, and actually won.
wow.
Won.
How much?
Katy Perry's attorney said they're trying to own basic building blocks of music, the alphabet of music that should be available to everyone, and that's kind of where my, if you're wondering where I'm sitting or simmering in this whole thing is there comes a time where there are so many people putting together the same melodies and the same concepts.
They're brainwashed.
Yes.
Were the Beatles brainwashed when they did Sgt. Pepper? I don't think so. But if you cut it,
Well, they had something going on in their brains.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But if you try to cover "Little Help from My Friends," you're gonna know it's plagiarism. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
But
Here it's become just a loop of stuff.
but that's the thing because pop music has a formula, and it's not just today.
Well-
It's always been.
Well, you could say blues too.
And blues too. Sure.
Blues is.
But you don't see blues artists suing each other. You don't see
no,
it.
they sued some of the British guys in the beginning
Really?
only because nobody knew about publishing. all the British guys were doing. Well, that's fucking John Lee Hooker. That's great. Let's do that song.
Right.
But
Okay.
But they fixed it later on. But what are you gonna do? Start going to 3-chord blues tunes? I mean, why you just go back to 1 chord? Like I'm a hillbilly, 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 it'll be unstoppable.
Right. Well, that's what, and I agree with Katy Perry's attorney here when he says, like when is enough enough? Like if you're going back to the fundamentals of music, when you're saying, like a three chord pentatonic chord progression, is now plagiarism. It becomes a problem, and when it becomes more of a problem when judges are saying, no, you're right, and we're going to award you, because that, as I said, becomes case law, and now all of a sudden that goes on to every other case that ever hits.
Well, there's a big difference between why we had great records when we were younger compared to a whole album. Nobody thinks of albums anymore. They're thinking of, how can I get this number 1 hit? Do I have to sample this, sample that? It's like,
Oh my God! If country music artists were doing this, in terms of
Waylon
chord
Jennings,
progressions,
if Waylon Jennings was alive, there'd be a lot of asses kicked down in Nashville.
no kidding.
I mean, a whole lot of them too.
But I feel like I could, if I were to do like a name that tune by humming out a melody, people would be really confused, because there's so many.
Yeah, let's try it.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay, this is a bad game.
Dun 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 dun. I can name 4 country songs on the top 40 charts over the last 5 years.
Is the word blue jeans in it?
Oh, there's probably something about Jack Daniels for sure. That is a very common chord progression. Obviously, it'd be easier if it wasn't just one note.
Nashville's locked up with about 20 musicians. There's 20,000 songwriters and so many amount of producers. And they're just, unless you really go to the east side of Nashville, when you get into Jack White's shit.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing original happening. Nothing.
Well, it's an interesting perspective, and
So let's play a Rivercat tune before.
and I truly enjoyed the conversation. Like, no, it's because I think it's important. It's important for people that are currently writing music.
I'm gonna play one that I stole.
We're all really
No.
Oh, okay, because we're all influenced by somebody, and because pop music has been a thing for the last 70 years, dare I say. We're going back, to where pop music in the 50s, in the beginning of the 50s, was really a thing, and that's. I don't want to talk about how long ago that was.
No, look, it was. I call Elvis the Big Bang,
He was definitely in that.
and then you had the nuclear blast with the Beatles, and the British invasion. I mean, before that, we hated the fucking British. They had the fingers in everybody's pie.
Uh-huh.
Nobody was listening to black music at all until Elvis.
Sure.
You had a little Chuck Berry and Little Richard, but they were struggling.
I would say that Elvis Presley, yes, in the 50s was the epicenter of pop music as we know it today. That was the evolution. That's where it started, where people were like, oh my God, I have to have this. I have to be a part of this. I have to be part of this pop culture phenomenon. And,
I'm learning.
but yeah, it's the
She's
absolute
learning
truth.
how to steal songs.
Yeah, I'm making notes over here.
But
She's
that's
got a
it.
grand
I have-
piano in the living room.
Yeah.
She'll be home going.
I have an album now.
If I came home and she was jamming on the piano, I would think that we've been abducted by aliens. Like something's wrong.
Really?
Body snatchers.
I took piano lessons
By the way,
for like a year.
my favorite science fiction movie,
Body snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yes.
I love it. All right.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I think we need to take a break because I think it's time for another cocktail.
Yeah,
And,
I would like to talk a little bit about my future record I'm working on.
Yes.
Soul to Soul.
So soul to soul. SOS. No.
Oh wait, I heard.
STS.
I did hear a little shit because if I remember correctly, that Stevie Ray put out an album, Soul to Soul.
High possibility.
Oh.
Don't want you
But
to
you
get
cannot
sued.
copyright a title.
So there you go.
Oh, good. So you're in the clear.
So you're in the clear.
Good, good.
And my Soul to Soul means something different.
Oh, okay. Even
Okay.
better. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, you guys. We're going to do another past performance from Rivercat. This is New Night, which is a great tune. We're going to freshen up our drinks. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Rivercat's upcoming album. We're going to do a Name That Tune. And then, get on through this show.
Then we're going to sue everybody for plagiarizing
We're
this this
Yes,
show.
we're suing everybody.
Now we know how to.
Oh, man.
Any lawyers, send your emails.
Send your email. We're going to need them. You guys, we'll be right back. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
In the distance, I hear the sound of a new night coming around. We'll be dancing, we'll be singing. And those guitars, those boys will be stringing. But in the silence of the night, well, it's a good time. Get it right. Oh, it's a sin and it's a shame when a new night starts to blame. Well, it's a new night to rock, baby. It's a new night to roll. It's a new night to find out if your lover still got soul. Well, it's a new day, a new way for you to feel good. It's a new night for love, to get his message understood. It's a new night. It's a new night. It's a new night. It's a new night. It's a new night to rock. Baby, it's a new night to roll. It's a new night to find out if your lover still got soul. It's a new day, a new way for you to feel good. Well, it's a new night for love, so get this a message understood. It's a new night. It's a new night. It's a new night.
Rivercat.
Transistor radio.
Yeah, man. We'll fix it in post.
Oh, okay. That was good. That was a good song.
Yeah, New Night's great.
Yep.
So yeah, Rivercat's grabbing himself another drink here.
To tell us all about his new album.
New
Needs
album.
a cocktail.
New album in the works.
In the works.
It's and that's what I meant by saying that he like the music just flows through him. Like, you know, just released this record, but is already working on the next record. And I feel like last time we talked, Mark, it was the same. You were putting all the you had just released 52 Nights.
I did.
And And then you already had all the music written out for Wire and Wood, and now it's here, and now you have another whole project that you're working on. So so tell us about that. Tell us about that project that is now upcoming.
Well, I finally put together a recording studio in my place where I'm living in Hutchinson Island, and I was gonna go Logic and all the new stuff. I said, and I just went old school, plug and direct, and experimenting. But the thing that's gonna come out soon, is called. I want to call it Soul to Soul. I have a whole concept to it. I worked with my friend Les Draper in Asbury Park back in the 80s. We weren't really part of the Asbury sound. There were no horns. We weren't doing Sam Cooke tunes. And I love all that stuff. I learned so much from those guys. But our sound was like if you could picture Duran Duran with a Jimi Hendrix guitar.
I love that. I think that's
so we were like,
dope.
So there's a whole nother side to Asbury Park with those cool bands. So I reunited with my buddy. I said, look, the only time we were ever in the studio was like 84, and we had to work from 12 midnight to 9 in the morning, so we can get the cut rate, which was $100 an hour. You work during the day, you're paying $300 an hour. So I said, look, why don't we recut some of these tunes, man, and reinvent them? Because we did put out an album called This Island Earth, but nobody heard it. Back then you needed a record company, you needed the whole 9 yards. So I just want to redo it and put it out there because I have all these great old songs. So he's been doing these finished tracks for me and sending them down, and I'm just putting them in my machine and laying them down, and it's coming out. I'm kind of blown away by it. Can we play one?
One of those songs from the new record?
You have Get Rhythm in there?
I'm sure I do. Let me find it.
I did put out a single, and Testing the Waters. But
Testing the Waters.
But it's a little different. It's very different from Wire and Wood. It's a complete heads and tails.
All right, Get Rhythm.
You're going to hear Jimi Hendrix, funky funk.
All right, let's hear Get Rhythm. That snare snaps so hard.
Yeah, so
This is in your new lounge? You're doing this in your new studio?
Well, what I've been doing is in the new studio is I set up something I'm very comfortable with, and my buddy is doing the track, like the musical tracks, the basics of, and then sends them to me. And I do my thing. I send them back and forth. The bond of technology. I don't even have to.
Yeah, God, we live in the 21st century.
Don't even have to look at your face.
That is just beautiful.
So, but we're both very happy because we love one another. I've known this kid since 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And these are old songs. I mean, 30, 40 years old that I'm redoing.
Oh, wow.
So it's nice to bring them back.
Right. Breathe some new life into
cool.
them.
And just I call them reimagine them. Because I kind of had forgotten and trashed them all. I'm like, never gonna play. He used to play these at the Stone Pony.
Really? Who's playing that lead guitar?
That's Leslie Draper. We call him Les. He learned everything when he was in the service. He was the only white guy in the all black band. But Jimi Hendrix, this guy is just a phenomenal guitar player. Unfortunately, never discovered. I can't, I could just do my best. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's an opportunity or a privilege to have his talent on your record.
My privilege is that as in our age, because he's a couple years older than me, but that we're still on the same page.
Yeah.
Like when he sent me it was my idea. I said, can you redo Get Rhythm and send it to me, man, so I could recut. And then it came out so good. I'm like, well, let's just keep going.
Right. Let's do all of it.
How many we got? He goes, we got about 100 rivers. I said, well, give me 10.
Oh, it's so good. So, when can we expect to see a new record? Like, how far out are you in the recording process?
Well, I could probably finish this in 2 weeks, but I just put out Wire and Wood. So the thing is, if you flood the market, then people just start getting confused.
Sure.
Because they're going to hear Wire and Wood, which is like, kind of a country alternative album. And then I'm going to come out with Soul to Soul, which is like, rock and roll kind of Hendrix in excess vibe. They're gonna, what's going on?
You know what I dig, man? What I dig about you is that you have that foresight. Because for me as an artist, man, like I have this impulse when I create something and I record it. I'm like, gotta get it the fuck out. I want everybody to hear this. I want everybody to relish in this at the same time as me, because it's new to me and I want it to be new to everybody else at the same time. And I'm not alone in this. You have many artists that cut records or cut songs and put them out as singles.
Well, Prince used to put out so much shit, nobody can keep up with it.
Right.
And it was jazz. It was, and he kind of hurt himself in that way.
Sure.
But see, in my mind, I'm like, all right, if I put this out, why I put the single out to give you a taste.
Sure.
But if I put it out in June, then enough time will have gone by with Wirewood. I've got interest from Wirewood from a record company in Memphis right now.
It's killer. It's awesome.
So my wife says to me, well, why didn't they call you back? I'm like, well, because I just sent it. I mean, and the fact of the matter is, if they don't like it, then in 3 days you're going to hear a letter saying, no, it ain't our vibe, blah, blah, blah. The fact that they're taking their time means they're listening.
Right. Of course.
Maybe they hear something. Or they're digging deeper into my website to hear what I've done in the past. Or it's just complete bullshit.
Well, listen, man, you have a huge repertoire and records that like you said, some are hit and miss in terms of what people have told you. I think they're all great, man. It hits me so hard because I'm a one-man band, and it's not just in the show that I do out live, but when I'm in the studio,
much credit, man.
When I'm in the studio, I do the majority of my recording myself.
But then you call in the magic dust. That's what I call it.
Sometimes I should have called the magic dust in a lot earlier. But the truth is, I feel you, man, and I wish that I wrote more. I wish that I wrote more, and I need to apply myself a little bit more. But
this was all really a blessing in disguise. These songs, old songs, came out because I reconnected with my buddy. He goes, how you doing, man? I'm like, yeah, I didn't make $1 million, but I'm doing all right. What are you doing? I'm playing in a country band. He goes, how come we should have been huge? I'm like, well, I tried to explain. without management and all that. And plus, from our area, we had Bruce, Bon Jovi, Southside. I'm like, how many more people from our area are they going to look at? That's why I moved to New York.
Yeah, and you are absolutely correct in that, the music business, because it is a business, requires
First and foremost.
Yeah, it requires a lot more than talent. And what I've always said is, if all you have is talent, then you need to surround yourself with people whose talent is business,
Right.
and make sure that you trust them and that they have your best interest.
Let you be an artist.
That let you be an artist, and they work out your deals for you, 100%. And there are many, many artists who are also incredibly business savvy.
Well, Mick Jagger.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jimmy fucking Buffett.
Yeah, well, that guy.
You want to talk about turning a career into a retirement plan?
But he's selling cheeseburgers.
He's selling
Everything.
From paradise.
In paradise, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And maybe the mango.
Yeah, the
I
last
don't know,
mango,
the last mango.
in Paris, of course.
Oh, yeah, in Paris.
You have a man that turned his music career into a lifestyle, or a lifestyle brand, in fact. And so you want to talk about somebody who really, really nailed the music business.
Right.
That would be Jimmy Buffett. Feel about him how you like.
Yeah,
The truth is in the pudding.
People have their opinions, You could sell out, make a chain of restaurants, or you could be like Don Henley and just complain about fucking everything.
Or that. I mean? We did. And Jordan and I were in Vegas a couple years ago. We were our hotel, or not a hotel. It was a timeshare place that was connected to Vince Neil's.
Oh no!
Restaurant, right? It was at Vince Neil's out there in Vegas, and
I know where it is,
It
bro.
was awesome.
It was awesome. We would go out on the strip and just get totally chaotic.
And you
then,
knew if you went to Vince Neil's, you were having a good time.
Well, that's it. Yeah, ha ha. So we would take our cab back to
where were you staying?
What was it? What was the name of that place?
Blue-green
Mirage?
club.
The Blue-Green Club. It was a timeshare just off the strip.
Did you get married?
We fakely did.
What do you mean?
We psyched some people out because we were in front of the little chapel.
I got married there.
You
didn't.
I swear to God.
That's awesome.
I got married in
I want to get married there by Elvis in person.
I did that.
Shit. You're living my...
No.
Why didn't we get married?
Why don't we just have,
We can do it again.
I'll go back with my
So
wife.
we're going to go to commercial break. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That is awesome.
I didn't tell you guys this story?
No, but I'm
don't think so.
interested. I think we need it.
All right. Well, here, after, she wasn't my wife yet, but we moved in together on the evening of 9/11.
Oh.
So we're unpacking, right? We're drinking. Then we finally sit on our terrace. To have a terrace in New York City back in the day was like, what? It's like fucking paradise. Because I said, look at our view, man. It was wow. Next morning, I'm hungover. She calls me from work. Hey, Mark, look out the window. On fire. So I lasted in New York to 2008. We went to Vegas for a trip because my wife used to go to Vegas. She's a fashion designer, and she would get these twice a year free trip. I'd go tag along
Because why not?
Yeah. Why
because
would you
everything's free.
Yes.
Fucking Vegas.
And my dad was living out there. He finally sold the bar in Jersey, and we went out. And so in the back of my mind, I took my mom. And nobody, well, why are you taking your mom? Why ain't she never been on vacation? So I proposed to my wife. She said yes. And we had time to pick. It was going to be on Monday. So we go out to the Hard Rock, right? And we're watching Ringo Starr's All-Star Band with Joel Walsh, Sheila E., The whole fucking crew.
Amazing.
I get a phone call at the Hard Rock. You know, when you had, remember the little flip phone?
Oh, sure.
If you guys come, if you guys can make it down here by midnight, ABC News will film your whole wedding and put it on TV. I'm like, well, you know, we're kind of drunk and my wife's not in her wedding gown. He said, don't worry, take as long as you want. I said, well, how about 2 o'clock? He said, fine. We go down there. They're all waiting. I'm talking
Total film crew.
top of the line shit. And so we get married by an Elvis preacher. I mean, when
That's amazing.
wait, this ain't over yet. So we get married by an Elvis creature.
An Elvis creature.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so ABC says, well, look, because I got married in the back of a pink Cadillac convertible with Elvis. He goes, won't you guys take a ride up and down the strip and we'll film everything? So it's me, Elvis Creature, and my wife, and we're singing Elvis tunes all the way up and back. And I rented the top pad of the Aladdin Hotel, the suite. I mean, I knew.
You knew what was going on. You knew it was
I just
going
didn't know
down.
if she was going to say yes or not. If she said no, I was going to the nearest. I was going to the nearest strip club.
I was gonna say you're in Vegas. It's a good bet. You're making a good gamble.
Yeah. So I figured, and you know, I mean, there was literally a hot tub in the living room.
Amazing.
That's
Awesome.
how cool that
Yeah.
was. So we did this whole thing, and I knew it was the in my heart. I knew that it was going to be the last time my mom and dad hadn't seen each other in 20 years, 30 years.
Right.
And they're having more fun than me and my new wife are.
It's great.
It brings
So-
out the best in people there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the worst.
Until it,
And the worst.
until it takes all your money.
Yeah. Until it turns you into the worst. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So that was, I mean, that, and
epic.
you know, we didn't meet until our 40s. So she had a child by then. I had no children because I had seen my family. Like, yeah, my family's fucked up.
we don't need that.
I'm like,
We don't need that crazy.
you know, I'm a rock and roll guy. I'm not going to have kids and then not be able to take care of them or something, you know, unless you Mick Jagger, then you can have 18 kids and pay
Right.
for them all.
100%.
True. Well
know.
into your 70s. Or however
Yeah, and they all
old he
still,
is. Yeah.
and they all love him.
Yep.
They all love him.
I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for that.
Yeah, I don't want 17 kids.
Mm.
I only want one wife.
That's enough. And 2
Listen.
cats.
Because my dad was
That's
married 5 times, okay? So,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Wow.
Rambling
yeah, that's
man.
a lot. Yeah.
Rambling man.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the kids thing. It's a lot.
All right, so
lot to
Vegas
take
is
care
not
of.
off the plate.
No.
It's not off the off the possibility train here for us anyway.
But listen, just because I got married by Elvis doesn't mean that you can.
Yeah.
Anybody. Can
So
get
wait,
married to Elvis.
do you have the ABC? Did they give you the footage?
Well, this is what happened. It was going to be on America's Wildest Weddings, and it was
Oh dear.
for about 30 seconds. But then, because I had the connection, I chased down ABC. It took me 1 year, and I got all the VHS footage.
Got the whole
Amazing.
thing, huh?
I got the whole thing, and then I went to a buddy of mine, and he made a DVD, and we put music together, and it's one of the most beautiful things that every time I doubt my marriage, I pop it in, and I'm just like,
Oh,
Aw, that's amazing.
actually the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
no,
Yeah, very
I
awesome.
chased down ABC in New York City. I said, I want the fucking tapes. I didn't sign them away to you. Gave you permission to film the wedding,
Yeah.
but not to film the wild sex in the hotel and shit.
But they did that anyway. But they gave you all the tapes. That's fantastic. It really, really is.
They gave me all the VHS, transferred them. My buddy made me an hour DVD of all the highlights of the shit. They got me and the preacher and my wife singing "Viva Las Vegas."
Amazing. So good.
Then I asked my dad, "Where's the ring?" He goes, "Oh, I left it in the hotel." I'm like, "Wait,
Dad.
you didn't gamble it away?"
Well, thankfully, he didn't do that. Thankfully, he didn't do that. Man.
If you met my dad, he was pretty cool, man. He was a Rat Pack guy, old school.
You did tell me, and this was when I said there were more stories off camera last time. You said that he was a rambling man, and but a cool cat, which is
Direct
awesome.
quote.
Direct
Is that a
quote.
direct quote?
It could be a direct
Did
quote.
I?
Okay.
That could be a song, as long as I don't get plagiarized.
Yeah, don't get plagiarized.
Yeah,
you
come
can
up
write
with
that
your own
down.
beat.
I won't sue you for it. That's
Your
for
own
sure.
beat.
Well, you guys, let's play Name That Tune. Let's
Oh.
Oh.
yeah, we are this show. This might
This
be a
show's
record.
too much fun, by the way.
Right?
It might be a record. We're gonna play Name That Tune. You guys, get your thinking caps on. Let's do it.
But no plagiarism, right?
Jordan's got you all your things up there.
No, yeah, no.
We dance on the lines of plagiarism
Oh yeah,
here.
are you doing ones where there's no words and it's just the beat and we have to come up with what song it
No,
is?
I'm not doing that, you guys. As always, we invite our live viewers to play along with us in the chats and comments while we guest here in the lounge. We are looking, of course, for the name of the songs and the artists or groups that perform them. Tonight's category is Legends of Asbury Park.
Oh, this is crap.
Wait. Are we giving away gifts?
Yeah, maybe another
Oh.
Maker's Mark.
Oh, then I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Danny, by the way, said that is a super Vegas marriage story.
That's super rad.
Oh, no way.
Super rad.
You really had to beat her.
All right, you guys. Are you ready for the first clue?
Okay.
Yeah? All right, here we go. First clue, Asbury Park Legends.
Dancing in the Dark, Bruce Springsteen.
Didn't even have to write it down. Here it is one more time.
You don't have to write it. I got it.
I'm practicing my cursive.
Okay. Somebody is.
Dance in the dark. Good job.
Yeah, we
Cursive?
probably don't even need
What's
to write.
that?
I know, right? We were
Nobody
talking
can
about
even
that
spell
today.
anymore, let
Yeah.
alone write a fucking
How do you
cursive.
do cursive?
Will Goulet says Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hey, what's up?
Good job, Will.
Good job. I'm from Asbury Park.
Will, I
You
will
should've-
see
you
you on.
should've-
I'll
should've
see you on
picked the harder
Friday
one.
night. All right, here we are. Second clue. Here we go. This is not going to be as easy.
Okay.
When I lay down at night, oh, I
The Fever
can't get
by
no sleep.
Southside Johnny and the Jukes, written by Bruce Springsteen.
Wow.
God, my
Yeah,
man.
not that easy.
Here it is one more time, though, just for your
Let's
for
hear
your
a little
listening
bit of that.
pleasure.
Come on.
When I lay down at night, oh, I can't get no sleep.
Southside Johnny.
I almost wore his T-shirt tonight.
Oh.
But you didn't.
I wore Max's Kansas City. Do you know why?
Dun, dun, dun. Why?
It was before my time moving to New York, but I heard it was the coolest fucking club.
Oh.
Aerosmith got signed there.
No
Oh,
shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you happen upon that
The shirt.
tank top?
Well, I had to chase a Puerto Rican 3 blocks.
And then
No, really, I had played Earl's Hideaway with Southern Discomfort, who I was with at the time.
right, up in
Yeah,
Sebastian.
and she was
sure.
selling them. I'm like, what the fuck? Were you from New York? And I forget what the answer was, but I'm like, well, because everybody I know in New York has a Max's Kansas City story. And one of them is Garland Jeffries.
Sure.
His single "Wild in the Streets" came out, so he was a new kid on the block. Him and Lou Reed, and they would just hang in the jukebox and play their songs over and over and over again. Get a roll of quarters,
Right.
play 'em. That was your promotion.
Interesting. Next clue.
In the heat of the summer, better call up the plumber.
I'm insulted.
Here it is one more time.
In the heat of the summer, better call
Want me to
up
sing the rest of the
plumber.
song? Wild in the Streets from Ghost Rider, Garland and the Jeffries.
That is correct.
Who sings it?
Garland Jeffries.
Oh.
In the heat
Oh,
of summer, better
Garland.
call
We're
up
teaching Jordan
the plumber.
something.
Oh. I'm with you now.
All
Maybe
right.
Jordan needs like mushroom tea or
I
something.
probably do. It's past my bedtime. I'm fading.
I don't believe it. She's just waking up.
Yeah, right?
Next clue.
I know the time is getting late, but I wanna.
Oh my God.
This is so
Here it is one more time.
I know the time is getting late, but I wanna.
Written by Little Steven Miami Van Mazant. And first time I heard it was 1975 after I had graduated high school, and they lowered the drinking age to 18. And he was trying to write a Smokey Robinson tune, and went to number one.
Went to number one. What's the name of the song? You know it.
Well, I don't want to go home.
I know the time is getting late, but I wanna.
awesome.
Dude.
I'm taking you on Music Jeopardy if I ever go
love it.
on.
No,
You're the music
because we will
Jeopardy
all
partner.
we will all be rich.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
should be on that. Why are we not?
Last clue. Asbury Legends.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I've got 5 more miles to see my sweet Marie.
Was something I saw called Rivercat?
That is the correct artist. What's the name of the song?
Got 5 more miles to see my sweet Marie.
Let it go for a little bit.
I've got 5 more
That's all I got.
miles to see my sweet Marie.
I'll finish it. 'Cause I'm one lucky dog, high on the hog, rolling down the highway.
It is Rivercat, One Lucky Dog.
These are all my fucking winnings.
Winner.
Let me tell you, you are
You cleaned up shop.
you cleaned up shop. Literally, you got
Even
every
the written buys.
you got every single song. Well done. Well done.
You kn-
Scott O'Buck even got Southside Johnny. I don't want to go. Oh no. I think that was a mix.
Mm.
I don't know. You know what?
I don't
gonna give it to you,
want to
Scott.
go home.
Nice. All right, you guys. Moving right along, carrying forward, and then in all the ways that we like to do. I'm gonna give you the boost that you need to get through the rest of your week. You guys take some notes. This is your midweek motivation. All right, you guys. While I'm stepping in for Ellie tonight, the topic that I want to talk about is conflict resolution using humor. I know. Crazy, right? Hear me out on 6 ways that humor can help manage and diffuse conflict. Something that might be useful in today's world. I hope anybody's listening. You guys, number 1, humor can help you form a stronger bond with other people. Look, your health and happiness depend to a large degree on the quality of your relationships And laughter binds people together. Remember that. Number 2, it can be used to smooth relations and differences. Using gentle humor can help you address even the most sensitive issues. 3, use it to diffuse tension with a well-timed joke.
Oh, wait. The poor drummer. Even if you don't like the joke.
It doesn't matter.
It's part of the routine.
It's part of the routine. Guys, number 4, humor can help overcome problems and setbacks. A sense of humor is key to resilience. And that's for you personally. It can help you take hardships in stride and bounce back from adversity and loss. Number 5, put things in perspective. Most situations aren't as bleak as they appear. Especially when you look at them from a playful and humorous point of view. Humor
Like
can
CNN.
help. Oh, God. Humor can help reframe problems that might otherwise seem overwhelming and damage a relationship. And number 6, finally, use humor to be more creative. Humor and playfulness can loosen you up, energize your thinking, and inspire you. Get out there. Don't be afraid to cut the tension with your great, big, funny sword.
Can I say something?
Of course, obviously.
I put out a whole album called Lessons in Laughing.
Get the fuck out of here.
No shit, about 5 years ago. And my independent release, of course, so nobody heard it. But my whole point, and the song is really beautiful, my whole point then was we all need lessons in laughing. Stop getting sucked into the negativity. Laugh at the simple things in life. When something goes wrong, like the rain comes through the fucking roof.
God,
Or,
love it.
Just make a joke out of it, because the world's not going to fall apart. So lessons in laughing are very important.
I agree. And another thing that I always say is, like, if the world could sit down and have a drink,
Oh yeah.
and laugh together, we might be in a much better place.
Oh yeah. Well, I know this is going to sound really strange, and you can email or say whatever the fuck you want. But I know a lot of people that are telling me, "Oh, Jesus is coming back. Here comes Jesus." I'm like, "Oh, well, great. He don't even show up for his own fucking birthday." And if he does come back,
He put Santa in his proxy, though.
yeah, but Santa, for some reason, Anyway, they're both hybrid aliens. If you want my opinion, but you probably don't, because I don't want you guys to lose any followers.
Hey, man, I wouldn't have invited you here if I didn't want your opinion.
Well, I do believe in Jesus. I think he was a hybrid alien, and we need to learn a few things. We were primitive, like we're not now, and all we got to do. The one thing we don't want to do is in our minds think that we are the only ones that exist, that we're alone in the universe. All we are saints in a grain. When you walk on the beach and you walk up and down a mile, that is one galaxy.
I will totally get behind that, because when you walk on the beach, every grain of sand is like a star in the sky, and we are just floating around in this endless amount of matter.
Infinity, man.
It's so crazy. So to me, what that says is you have an opportunity to make your very small area better. So why not? Why not just be the best you can be and make your area the best it can be?
Because I believe it's all vibrations. One thing can change a million things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Like the flap of a butterfly's wing can change everything. It's unbelievable. Jordan, what were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, you look like you're gonna say something.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Are you guys
Yeah.
sure you're gonna edit me all out of this?
No, absolutely not. You're the best.
Yeah, you're the star.
But we are going to go around the room and share with you all the stuff that we've got going on and what you should be checking out because it's time for our shameless plugs. Yeah. All right. So, as always, we're going to kick off our shameless plugs with our special guest, Mark Rivercat Rivers.
Oh boy.
Mark, tell us what we should be looking for, what we need to be getting down on.
Wait, explain to me, what is the shameless plug?
Shameless plugs is a plug that you're going to give us that that some people would be like, oh my God, they're so conceited. Why would they talk about themselves so much? But really, it's really just selling whatever you got to sell, man.
Oh, you mean I get to complain?
Maybe a little bit, but more so. What should these people be looking for when it comes to Rivercat?
Oh man.
But you can complain too.
All right, I'm gonna complain a little bit.
Do it.
Never mistake confidence for ego. Okay? If you want to be a rock star, then you act like a rock star. You dress like one. You come out of the house. Did you ever see Elvis come out of the fucking house in a pair of blue jeans? Unless it was a movie set. Does Prince dress every time he goes out like he's a fucking genius? Like, I mean, and you know, I don't have that kind of bucks, but in my mind, I'm like, well, if I don't think that way, then I'm just a loser. Next.
Well, I don't think you're a loser.
No. I mean, I don't want to go on stage in my fucking, well, you're allowed because you're special.
Well, no, listen. I do it because
Because you're playing drums with your feet and shit.
yeah, and
Hello.
I kind of live in that trop
That's
trop
okay.
rock world, so like that's
And
that was by design because I love flip flops and board shorts.
No, but I'm saying, for people that really want, go rock star. I mean, the stage is a special place to me.
Absolutely.
The stage is a place that's very hard to get to, and very important. And you should use all your artistic values, how you look, how you're going to present yourself, and how you're going to, and I'm not putting down little stages because we all done them,
Lord Jesus.
without the Lord Jesus. Sometimes I
With,
pray.
with or without.
Sometimes I prayed for him. Please, Lord, can I remember these chords? I mean, so, all right. I don't know if that's the right answer, but that's my answer.
Yeah. There's no wrong answers here. Lord knows I've given here we go with the Lord again.
Yeah.
Lord knows
But-
I've
but-
given
but-
enough
but-
answers.
But wait a minute. I mean, I've been in 100 bands. I hope not. Maybe 7 years ago.
A number
But
of
I
them.
watch you. And this guy, now you got a guy that's playing drums. He's playing me. And I asked him, he said it took him 10 years to learn it. True?
Yes. 10 years.
And
And
give
still
me
learning.
and $1 million.
And $1 million. Do you have any dates on the calendar anywhere where we can see you in the very near future?
Well, I'll be playing on the beach tomorrow.
When?
It's a joke.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm assuming you're not
No,
playing
no.
with Southern Discomfort anymore,
No,
or that band's not in existence.
I'm not. And if you're all listening out there, and it's not because I don't love you, because I do, and I went through the motions and all, but but I realized that I just got to do my own thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about.
That's how I felt, man. And I started doing the one man band thing. And I do work with Justin Mandel on bass, and that's a great thing. We play one venue once a week or once every other week, and it's wonderful. But yeah, sometimes you got to do your own thing. Where can people find Wire and Wood, and when can we expect it to be in physical form?
Well, I'm expecting about 10 days for the physical.
Nice.
Because of all the COVID, pressing plants and all of that.
Sure.
Which is fine. And then you could walk to your record store if you could find one and buy it. But otherwise, it's already out. iTunes, Amazon, all that. So
Nice.
But I was excited to come here because because I haven't, except for the albums. When you actually get an album and it's yours,
Sure.
in vinyl, that's gonna be pretty exciting.
I tell you what, I'm gonna get mine, and I'm going to get it to you to sign so that we can hang it up in here. Absolutely.
But I can't write in cursive.
Oh.
That's okay. Whatever hieroglyphics,
stamp. We'll get you a
hieroglyphics, stamps, whatever we need to do, we'll get
Can
it.
you give me one of them things?
Yeah, one of those
Yeah.
newfangled
Just
typing
stamp it on.
machines.
Yeah. We'll make it work.
That's
Get you some
awesome.
finger paint.
Oh, finger paint.
Finger paint. Yeah.
Oh,
Even
then
better.
I'd be here all night. All 100 of them. Yeah, finger paint. What's your
All right.
name? Oh, River Rat.
River.
River. Jordan, any shameless plugs tonight?
No.
No. Good.
No.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Just-
come on. Give
yeah,
me
I
one.
got nothing.
You got something. One shameless plug.
You know
Oh,
what's funny?
okay.
Like anybody that has seen Rivercat's last show, this is deja vu because he did exactly
the same
same
exact
thing
thing?
to you last time.
Give me one. If you're doing Amazon shopping, check out go to our website
Yeah.
and use our affiliate Amazon link and continue shopping, and we get credit for it, and you still get to buy fun things on Amazon.
Unless he changed the name to Amazon.
Amazon.
Then you ain't going to
Literally,
get shit.
Amazon change.
Anything you buy, if you click through our affiliate link first, anything you buy doesn't have to be anything that we've suggested. We get credit for that, and that's very, very cool. So
Okay.
that's one
We
way
don't
to
want to
support.
lose our affiliate.
One way to support the show.
Yeah.
100%.
And
How was
I
that?
will support UPS if they deliver the machine I've been waiting for 3 weeks on time.
If they'll
please.
actually bring the packages.
Well,
Yeah, and not leave it in the rain.
I'm not going to talk on the show about how absolutely horrendous
oh yeah.
UPS
oh,
is.
yeah, you got them started.
I
You got 'em
won't
started.
say on air about how much I loathe the delivery service of UPS.
Right.
Wait.
But we'll talk about that later.
But we'll talk about it later.
How much we hate
about
them.
how much
Can we devote
They're
the
the
whole show
worst.
to that?
Yeah, we need the postal bashing.
100%.
Do I
can't
get a
speak.
last request?
Are you dying?
No, I mean, I don't know how close we are to the show going.
Oh, we're close to the end. Yeah.
He has a last request.
Yeah.
I would like you to play the last song on my record.
We will do that on the outro. We'll do that. We will do that before the outro, 100%. Unless you wanted to play it live.
No, I don't.
Okay, good. That's fine.
Let me think about it.
I'm going to hit you
No.
with my shameless plugs, and then we're going to play the last song on that record for sure.
It's about Prince. I wrote it for him.
Oh.
Then even better. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us live tonight on Facebook and YouTube. This show and all of our shows are available to relive on all podcast platforms, or you can watch us in glorious HD on our YouTube channel and on our Roku channel. Just search for Jams and Cocktails. And please give us 5 stars, thumbs up, and subscribe, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Special thanks to our sponsors and partners at Code Rum, TCNightlife.com, The Sneaky Tiki, Hoplite Brewing, Treasure Coast Entertainment, Snorkel Corn Entertainment, Paul at the Drums and Rums podcast, and Ben and Hector at the 561 Music Podcast. Support our friends who support us and support local whenever you can. It's so important, especially these days, you guys. A very important plug. A member of our Treasure Coast musical family needs our help. The troubadour Jonathan Cummings is about to start cancer treatments for throat cancer, which has made him unable to perform and thus not able to earn a living. You guys, Big Coke Ross and others have put together a benefit concert coming together for Jonathan Cummings on Monday, March 14th, going from 3 to 8 p.m. There will be tons of live music, raffles, and more. I put a link to the event in the show notes here. So come out and join us and give back to a fellow musician who has given us so much. I will see you there. Next week on the show, we'll have Sandman Sleeps here in the lounge. On the heels of their long-awaited debut album release, we'll talk about their process, music, and what they've been up to over the last year. You won't want to miss this episode. Come catch my one-man band show sometime this weekend. See where I'll be at bradbrock.com. And that does it for my shameless plugs.
All
right, so I'm going to go
by the way,
by your way.
no, do what you got to do.
Oh, for the
Tell
last.
me when we're back.
We're back. We're back.
Back? We're live?
We're live.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hey.
How goes it?
Everything's good, man. You know.
Just the way we like it.
Just when they
Chill.
thought they got rid of me.
Still here.
Okay.
Going strong.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about Angels Waiting, which is the track we're gonna play here.
Yeah. Well, it's you probably don't have much time for the track because it's epic. But when Prince died, I was trying to find a way to honor him, you know, without copying him or anything. So it just so happened that I don't know, could have been the Mississippi Mud or whatever I was drinking at the time or smoking. And so because I couldn't find a way in words to explain how I felt the loss. So I said, why don't you just take a couple lines from a couple of the songs, you know, and run them together and see if they make sense. And so I did that. And then I had that part of the song. And I said, but you want to do something really epic with the ending. You need to do it. So it's just like, if it does get famous, someone's going to forget it, like I Am the Walrus. And my brother says, well, hey, why don't you try out this chord? I'm like, well, actually, it's only one chord. But it's, all you need is love tonight. So I combined the two and came up with a, what I hope is one of my my favorite and epic tunes to Prince.
All right.
Aw.
Let's hear it, you guys. This is Angels Waiting. Okay, you guys. This is Angels Waiting. I got this. It's my first day.
So is it safe to say that Prince is your favorite artist of all time if you had to pick one? Or is that a complicated?
I'm going to
question?
say overall, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you have to give it to, you know, the Hall of Fame guy, I'm going to say Paul McCartney because he's got the Beatles on his resume.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but for me, Prince was the most innovative and could go different ways. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't all just like, here's a pop song. It was funk. It was jazz. It was, you know, and even if a lot of stuff, even if you didn't like it when you first heard it, it just grew on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Agree.
Like,
All right, you guys. This
Yeah.
is Angels
I'm excited.
Waiting.
yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for playing this for me, man. It's important.
Thanks for writing it.
Can you tell over to my phones?
Yeah, man.
Out in the purple rain, it's Nicky again. Just a sign of the times. But for you, there's angels waiting. Yeah, for you, there's angels waiting. With a pop like wife, you took a knife. It's revolution off in the air. Under the cherry moon, you came a little too soon. Now you're forever in our life. It's for you. This ain't
Angels waiting.
yeah for you. There's angels waiting. Angels waiting. Angels waiting. Angels waiting. All we need is love tonight. 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 All we need is
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There is definitely
Yeah.
major Prince influence,
Yeah.
especially at the end of that track. Like
Well-
I was like, oh man, especially in your vocals too.
Yep.
Well, the weird thing at the end of the track was in the studio, I was actually playing an old hollow body Gretsch that Lennon and Harrison would play through a Marshall stack. So I was getting all this weird feedback and not knowing what was going to happen. It was just,
Sometimes that's the best.
and then the tape was rolling. It was like, I don't think I could do it again. You know.
Well, it's a good thing that it was caught on tape.
Oh my God. Thank you. You know why? Because I mean, a lot of times when I record, I'm talking to ghosts. I'm like, Prince, man, what do you think? Yeah, well, it'll work. Hey, John, Lennon, I'm working on something. You think, hey, because maybe it's just shit I'm smoking, or it's because
It's like good shit.
Because I really believe that the spirits and the music are in the air.
Yeah,
I really do.
100%, man.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna wind this show down.
Hey.
Winding down.
You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this show. What a great time, Mark. Thank you so much for being here again. It's always a pleasure, man. And as I said it from the time you were here the first time tonight, you're always welcome here, my friend. You just hit me up, and we'll always work it out.
I'm like your best weed. I just keep growing.
You're our favorite weed plant.
Tome of incredible stories and just super positive energy, and I love it, man. Always, you always have a seat at our table, pal.
Can I say one thing?
You could say multiple things
Listen,
if you'd like.
Because I woke up in not a good mood twice today, but on the way over, I was like, man, I just know I'm gonna have fun with these guys, man, because you bring out the best of people.
Oh.
You ask the right questions, and you're like, let's have some fucking fun, man.
Well, good.
It's
definitely the goal.
Anybody plagiarizes you, just get a lawyer soon.
See, we give legal advice too.
God, please don't say that, Jordan. Yes,
loose legal advice.
Loose legal advice.
Take it or leave it. Probably leave it.
Oh God! Well, you guys, give it up once again for our special guest tonight, Rivercat.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Love you guys. And,
also, let's hear it for Jordan Taylor.
Ooh, sexiness is a sexiness stuff.
You guys.
And last but not least,
the king.
Brad. The king. Keep it coming, yeah.
Bring it on.
We would be nothing without our hostess with the niceness.
You do a great job, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both for being here. I'd be awful lonely by myself. You guys, next week, we will see you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a great show, would it?
We'll see you. Thanks, Jordan. We'll see you back here next week with Sandman Sleeps. Until then, you guys, drink some water, take care of yourselves and each other.
And let's get this worldwide, man. Let's broadcast this shit.
Do this. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge, the Leaky Lounge, as I like to call it.
It's the new name.
I am Brad Brock. We love you guys. Good night.
That's a wrap.